Hey everyone, E. Brewster here, and I was supposed to post a video a few days ago regarding PCOS, but I was recording and the video stopped probably 3 minutes in, and I didn't know it until after I was 10 minutes of talking. So I just want to do a few questions that I've gotten in my inbox because I did promise that I was going to make sure that I answered those questions. The question I got a lot, probably about 4 or 5 times, is how do you know that you have PCOS? Great question. The best thing for you to do is look up the symptoms. If you have several of those symptoms, I suggest that you go to your primary doctor and ask them to be tested for PCOS. The test will consist of a lot of blood work and your medical history. So that's the way you are diagnosed. You're going to need all your medical history. So every symptom, everything that you've endured since you've started going to the doctor, I would say. Most of the time we start seeing symptoms after puberty. After I was diagnosed, it was between 11, I would say. Between my symptoms started in 91. The summer of 91 is when I first had symptoms of PCOS. That was right after I started puberty, or hit puberty, I should say. I started my cycle, and they went all the way through my teenagers. They got worse when I turned 19, but I wasn't diagnosed until I was 28. I was 28 when I was diagnosed. Or no. Oh, I was 28. I was 28 years old when I was diagnosed. So from 91 to 2009, I did not know I had it. Because back then, even in 2009, when I went to my physician, he didn't even know, or the two physicians that I had at the time, they didn't even know what PCOS really was. It was new to them, and they had to do research. But I was my own advocate. Being your own advocate in anything is the best thing you can do for yourself. When it in regards to PCOS, you really have to get out there and look, research, and you have to pay attention to your body. You need to write down different symptoms that you may have. You need to write down sometimes what may trigger outbreaks or anxiety attacks, or some people suffer with binge eating, like sugary foods and things. That's one of the things I deal with. I also deal with hair growth in odd places. I have hair on my knuckles, and I know a lot of people do, but I have it's animalistic. That's what I always call. It's animalistic on my toes and on my knuckles, and unfortunately here I grow a lot of hair. So it wasn't until probably 2013 before I realized what was really an issue for me, because I had to get out there. They didn't know. They were just, I was diagnosed in 2009. My sugar was I came back like the following day after I was tested for PCOS, and because my sugar was so high, and they immediately put me on metformin. Metformin is a good medication for those who need to get their blood sugar, or even to help with the effects of PCOS. Unfortunately, there are side effects. For me, the side effects were horrible, and it just didn't go well with me. And then plus I was doing other medication at the time because I was trying to get pregnant, and it was just a lot going on for me. So I'm not going to down metformin or any other medication that they try you on. I just think the best thing for you to do is to advocate for yourself, eat healthier, exercise as much as you can. And I'm not going to tell you to go get a gym membership and go kill yourself at the gym trying to lose weight and tell you that all the symptoms are going to go away, because for me, I have lost over 75 pounds, and the symptoms, as far as my blood sugar, they're better, but I'm still growing hair. I still have hair here. I'm balding. I have balding in the back, which, go figure, I'm growing hair here, but balding in. It's so crazy. All the symptoms. I still have anxiety, but you learn to live with all these things. If you're, you have to just learn how to get through it. Don't let it define you. Don't let it mess you up. The anxiety, the depression, all that stuff is real. Don't let people downplay it, but don't allow it to define you. Don't let any chronic illness, anything, define who you are. Never allow it to take over your life. And I know it's easier said than done, but it can be done. And this is someone who has and is going through the effects of it. I thought that after I had my kids and I started to lose weight, that all these were going to be in reverse. And a lot of times people just focus on the weight issues that come along with PCOS, but there are other things that go on, irregular menstrual cycles, and just, it's a lot. I'm telling you, it's a lot. And I'll be posting about it so you can read it. I'll try and get my whole journey out there to those who keep asking. Another question was, how do I combat anxiety that comes along with PCOS and depression? Just know that I am learning every day to combat it. I am also doing a lot of you have to do self-care. Self-care is important in any manner of life. Just normal life, you should have self-care. When you're dealing with anxiety and depression, or just dealing with anxiety, or just trying to figure out what your chronic illness means for your life, sometimes you have to take a break. Sometimes you have to just get away. But again, being your own advocate, and I mean that like deeply. Advocate for yourself. Get out there and research for yourself. Stop depending on people. Stop depending on the doctors to give you what you want or what you need. I'm telling you, when you advocate for yourself and when you get out there and say, no, I'm not going to take all 6 of these pills so that I can sit here and be messed up. I'm telling you, from everything from anxiety medicine to there was a lot of medications. I'll try to outline some of them in my journey before this month is over. I just want you guys to realize, if you have just been recently diagnosed, for those of you who have been inboxing me that have recently been diagnosed, please don't think that this is like a death sentence or this is the end. I know that it's hereditary. I know that either your grandmother, your mother, someone has had it. I know that we believe that my grandmother, my mother's mother, she had it. She unfortunately didn't, of course they didn't know anything about it. So she developed full-blown diabetes, which eventually caused her to have strokes and have just issues. And that's what ultimately killed her, basically, is just, you have to really be an advocate for yourself and do research, especially now. There's no excuse for you not to research and find out. Don't let this become full-blown diabetes because you don't want to get out there and do research. It's pretty easy. You can find out a lot of things, and that's one of the things that I have been very, 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 very hard on myself and pushing myself to do, is to advocate for myself, especially for the diabetes part, because of the hereditary part. And I'm on my daughter already and my nieces, because again, it's hereditary. So your grandmother, great grandmother, it can affect you. So I'm making sure that you start off healthy, because I was very healthy when I was younger. I walked, I was very active. And once and the symptoms were still there, but it became full blown once my activity level slowed down. So again, that may not be for you. Find out what is going on with you. Don't get caught up in just the weight portion of PCOS. Please don't, because it's so much more than that. And not everyone is another question that I want to hit on real quick is, not everyone's going to have cysts. I haven't had cysts in probably like 8 years. And some people never get cysts. So don't think that, oh, I don't get cysts, so I don't have polycystic ovary syndrome. Get tested. Don't try to self-diagnose. Don't Google diagnose. Get tested. Before you go, get your medical history. Write down everything, every symptom that you believe that you have or that you do have that is on the symptoms list of PCOS. Write it down, talk about it, go to your doctor. Get diagnosed early. The earlier you can get diagnosed, the better you can control it. Again, I'm going to try to get my journey out there. I'm talking a little bit longer. I just wanted this to be a few minutes, but I did want to cover some things and encourage you, those of you who have been diagnosed recently, and anyone who has been diagnosed and going through it and you don't understand why this is going on, you have to like seriously be an advocate. You can live through it. You can be happy. You can enjoy life. There's a lot of other chronic illnesses out there, and people are living through lupus. There so many, I'm not even going to start naming them. But I'm telling you, because it's still kind of like new, taboo-ish, PCOS, because some people don't believe that it's an issue. And unfortunately, not as many suffer from it as, let's say, maybe lupus or a cancer or something like that. But these things can turn into that, and that's the reason. That's one of the reasons I'm so like heavy on it and advocating for it and being aware about it, because there's ovarian and other cancers that can develop, and heart issues, again, diabetes, stroke. You're more prone to having heart attacks and high blood pressure. Just please don't just sit on it. Like if you've been diagnosed, and just do whatever you can to advocate for yourself and get out there and control it. Get everything that you can under control. Seriously, it's important. I will post as soon as I can. Other than that, I will keep posting little links and things like that can help. The infertility part, one more question that I did get is, someone is going through infertility treatments. They have PCOS. And what do I suggest? Again, advocate for healthy living. If you're able to change the way you eat, start exercising, and don't stress about it. Stress will make infertility treatments that much harder. Gonna be hard no matter what, but it's hard. It is hard to calm yourself and breathe, but you really can. Like, once you stop thinking about it so hardcore and tough, I'm telling you, it will make your life a lot easier. Whatever you're doing, I believe you said an IVF coming soon. I'm praying that you calm yourself, and that you and your husband just band together. Don't let this break you. I know it's financially hard, like you said, and I know it's like stressful, and this is something you really, really, really want, but do not overthink everything. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. I'm praying that everyone who is going through PCOS and any other chronic illness, any other anything, any health issues, I'm just praying that everyone becomes their own advocate and get out there and bring awareness, because people need awareness. I'm telling you, people need awareness. People need to know that there are others out there who are going through what they're going through, and share your stories with family. Help your family understand. You never know what family member may be going through it. The way I found out I had PCOS is because my sister heard my symptoms. My sister Rochelle was like, no, you need to go to the doctor. This is what you need to tell them. And I did that. And thank God that I did. So again, I encourage you to be your own advocate and bring awareness, and I will continue to do that. If you have any more questions, you can inbox me or text me, and I definitely will do my best to answer them promptly. God bless.